Ever wondered how to start a business with just a handful of resources? It's a question that has likely kept many an aspiring entrepreneur awake at night. The initial stages of launching a venture are often riddled with challenges. There's the intimidation of a vast, competitive market, the uncertainty of economic conditions, the stress of financial constraints, and the fear of failure. It's a daunting journey, one that requires courage, resilience, and a clear vision. But what if there was a way to ease this journey, to reduce the risks and increase the chances of success? What if there was a roadmap that could guide you through the labyrinth of starting a business, illuminating a path that's leaner, smarter, and more efficient? Well, we're here to tell you that such a method does exist. What if we told you there's a method that can help you navigate the choppy waters of entrepreneurship with more confidence? Enter the Lean Startup. The Lean Startup isn't a diet plan for your business, but it does involve trimming the fat. So what is the Lean Startup? It's a business methodology that champions the idea of validating business ideas with minimal resources. But let's break that down into simpler terms. Imagine you're trying out a new recipe for the first time. You don't go out and buy a truckload of ingredients, do you? Of course not. You start small, maybe even halving the recipe, just to see if it turns out right. The Lean Startup approach to business is just like that. You start with a hypothesis, your business idea. Then you conduct an experiment, which is essentially launching a small version of your business or product to see if it works. This is your minimum viable product. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you haven't wasted a lot of resources. You simply learn from the experience, make changes, and try again. This process of learning and adjusting is called iteration. It's kind of like learning to ride a bike. You don't start off with a top-of-the-line bicycle and a full set of gear. You start with training wheels and a helmet. As you get better, you upgrade. The Lean Startup is about starting small, learning fast, and scaling wisely. It's about trimming the fat, not eliminating it entirely. So, just like you wouldn't buy a truckload of ingredients for a new recipe or a top-of-the-line bicycle for your first ride, you don't need to invest heavily in your business idea before testing it out. Now that you have a basic understanding of the Lean Startup, let's dive deeper into its key points. First up, we have the build, measure, learn feedback loop. This is the beating heart of the Lean Startup approach. Here's how it works. You start by building a minimum viable product, or MVP. This is a basic version of your product that has just enough features to be usable. Next, you measure how your MVP performs in the market. This could be through sales numbers, user feedback, or any other metric that's relevant to your business. Finally, you learn from the data you've gathered and use it to make informed decisions about what to do next. Now, this brings us to our next point: validated learning. In traditional business models, success is often measured in dollars and cents. But in the Lean Startup, success is measured in validated learning. This means learning more about what your customers want and how your product can meet their needs. It's about figuring out the right things to build, not just building things right. This leads us to the concept of pivoting versus persevering. Imagine you've launched your MVP, gathered data, and found that things aren't quite going as expected. Here, the Lean Startup method gives you two options. You can persevere, tweaking your product and hoping for better results. Or you can pivot, making a fundamental change in your product or strategy based on what you've learned. This is a tough decision to make, but it's a crucial part of the Lean Startup approach. So, what are the benefits of all this? Well, by using the Lean Startup method, you can reduce the time and resources needed to launch a business. You're not wasting time building products that no one wants. Instead, you're learning fast, making changes as needed, and building a business that truly meets the needs of your customers. So, remember, with the Lean Startup method, you'll be doing more with less, learning fast, and building a business that truly meets the needs of your customers. So, are you ready to give the Lean Startup method a shot? This approach can be your game changer, allowing you to validate your business ideas with minimal resources. By embracing the Lean Startup, you're setting yourself up for a journey of continuous evolution, learning, and growth in the business world. It's about making educated decisions and learning from each step you take. With the Lean Startup, you're not just starting a business, you're starting a journey of continuous learning and improvement. So get out there and start learning.